Today, we're diving into something that's absolutely critical for your success and happiness, which is be a first-rate version of yourself, not a second-rate version of somebody else. And I'll share 4 steps with you to do exactly that. You see, let's face it, we live in a world where social media, societal expectations, and even our own self-doubt lurking around constantly pushes us to conform. It's easy for us to almost lose sight of who we really are. We see highlights of others' lives online and we begin to compare. But the truth is, there's only one of you. So today, I'm going to give you 4 powerful steps to reclaim your authenticity and shine as the best version of you. Always be a first-rate version of yourself and not a second-rate version of somebody else was said by Judy Garland over 60 years ago. But it's just as prevalent today as it was back then. So let's get right into the steps with step number 1. Your core values are the fundamental beliefs that guide your decisions, your actions, and your overall way of life. They're what make you, you, and what make me, me. Now, understanding your core values is an absolute game changer. Think of your core values almost as the compass that guides you through life's many decisions, challenges, and opportunities. They are the deep-seated beliefs that drive your actions and shape your character. When you're aligned with your core values, when everything's in alignment with it, you're not just living life, you're living your life. The life that resonates totally and utterly with you. Imagine waking up every day with a clear sense of purpose. When your decisions are rooted in your core values, you'll move through life with a confidence and authenticity, because you're not swayed by external pressures or societal expectations, because you have this strong, unshakable foundation that's guiding you. And that's the power, that's the true power of knowing and living by your core values. Think about it for a moment. Every decision that you make, every single decision, every relationship you build, every goal you set, they all stem from these core values. They are the filter through which you view the world. That when you're faced with a tough decision, it's through your core values that you'll gain clarity. They'll help you stay true to yourself, even when the going gets tough. And here's the best part. Your core values are unique to you. They're what make you stand out in the crowd. They're the reason people are drawn to you and why you attract the opportunities that are right for you. When you truly embrace your core values, you're not just existing, you're thriving. So how do we identify our core values? The first thing we do is start to ask yourself a few key questions. Firstly, what principles do you hold most dear? And almost start to ask yourself, when do I feel most fulfilled? And then ask, why does that fulfill you? And also start to consider, what qualities do you admire most in others? Begin to write down your answers and look for common themes. So these themes begin to build or show you what your core values are. So for example, if you consistently find that honesty, creativity, and perhaps compassion come up for you, those are likely to be your core values. And knowing these will help you make decisions that align with who you truly are. So once you've explored and identified what your core values are, we move on to step 2, setting authentic goals. Now, goals are an incredibly powerful tool that we have in our arsenal, but there is an essential truth that we can often overlook. To become a first-rate version of yourself, your goals need to be in alignment with your core values, and in fact not dictated by somebody else's expectations, which is why step 1 is so important, to identify your core values. Now, here's the deal. It's so easy to get caught up in what society says you should achieve. Maybe it's that high-paying job, that picture-perfect relationship, or that picture-perfect life that looks amazing on Instagram. But let me tell you something crucial. Those aren't your goals. Those are someone else's expectations. When you set goals that resonate deeply with your true self, everything begins to change. Imagine pursuing a dream that genuinely excites you, delights you, and thrills you, that lights a fire in your soul, lights a fire in your belly. It's not about what looks good on paper. It's about what feels right in your heart. This is where the magic truly happens. When your goals align with your core values, the journey towards them becomes not just a pursuit, but an adventure. It becomes enjoyable, fulfilling, and deeply meaningful. You're no longer chasing after a finish line because you have to. You're moving towards a desire and a goal and a dream because you choose to and you want to. Think about it. When was the last time you did something purely because it made you happy? Because it resonated with who you were at your core? Those are the moments of true success, when you're aligned with your genuine goals. You almost tap into a sense of purpose and passion that becomes unstoppable. So stop setting goals based on what society expects of you. Forget about what looks good. Instead, dig deep. Connect with your inner self and ask yourself, what do you really want? What would you love? What delights me? What thrills me? What makes me come alive? You see, your goals should be a reflection of your unique journey, your values and your passions. When you pursue these authentic goals, the journey becomes a thrilling adventure, and the success you achieve is not just a milestone, but a deeply rewarding experience that adds meaning to your life. Embrace your true self, set those genuine goals, and trust me, watch your world begin to transform. And here's how you do it. So the first part is to align your goals with your core values. So if one of your core values, for example, is creativity, set goals that allow you to be creative, whether it's starting a new project, taking up a hobby, or pursuing a career in the arts, or doing some craft work. Whatever it is, ensure the goals align with your core values. The next step is to be specific and actionable. Instead of saying, I want to be more creative, say, I will spend 1 hour every day working on my writing, or working on my crafts, or working on my painting. And then write down your goals and revisit them regularly. You see, this keeps your goals at the forefront of your mind and helps you to almost stay accountable. So whether that's putting a post-it on your computer screen, or whether it's writing it in your journal, or something that you look at every single day, make sure that you can have visibility of your goals. Remember, these goals should excite you and feel true to who you are. If they don't, that's okay. It's just time to reassess and realign. And now that you have your core values identified and your authentic goals written down, let's move on to step 3, embracing your unique strengths. Theodore Roosevelt once said that comparison is the thief of joy, and he couldn't be more right. You see, when we compare, we neglect our own journey. We forget about our strengths and our accomplishments. Every one of us, every single one of us out there has unique strengths, but we often overlook them because we're too busy comparing ourselves to others. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you looked at someone else's life and felt perhaps a pang of envy? How often have you scrolled through social media, seen someone else's highlight reel and felt like you were not doing enough? It's a trap. It's a trap that pulls you away from recognizing your own incredible journey and amazing strengths. You see, when we compare ourselves to others, we lose sight of our own journey, of our own path. We start measuring our worth against someone else's success, and that's actually totally unfair on us. It's totally not fair. Your journey is yours alone. It's filled with unique experiences, unique challenges, and triumphs. No one else has ever walked in your shoes, faced your battles, or achieved your victories and successes. So when you're busy looking at what someone else is doing, you actually miss out on seeing your own capabilities. You see, what you do is we forget that we've been resilient along the way, the moments that we've shown up and kept going. We forget all of those things when we focus on that comparison. You see, every accomplishment, no matter what size, big or small, it's a testament to your strength. Don't let comparison blind you to that. So here's what I encourage you to do. Shift your focus inward. Start celebrating your wins. Keep a journal of all your accomplishments, no matter how minor they might seem. Also, remind yourself of the obstacles that you've overcome and the progress that you've made so far. You see, when you focus on your journey, you will see just how far you've come. And the next time you catch yourself comparing, stop, take a breath, and remind yourself that your journey is your own. celebrate it, embrace it. Because when you stop comparing and start appreciating yourself, that's when you'll truly find joy. You truly are enough, just as you are. Your strengths, your journey, and your story, they are all worth celebrating. So stand tall, recognize your worth, and let joy be your guide. The first step is to identify your strengths. Think about times when you've excelled or you've received compliments. What skills or traits were you using at those times? The next piece is to leverage your strengths. So once you know your strengths, find ways to incorporate them into your daily life. If you're great at communication, seek opportunities to speak, write, or network, for example. And the final piece in this part is to celebrate your strengths. Acknowledge and celebrate your strengths regularly. It boosts your confidence and reinforces your unique value. Now, a point to note here is that embracing your strengths isn't about being perfect. Embrace your imperfections. They are what make you human. They're what make you relatable. They make you, you. And remember, there's no one else on this planet, absolutely no one, who can be you better than you. You have unique gifts, you have unique talents and perspectives that are entirely your own. Embrace them, celebrate them. It's time to recognize what makes you special. Remember, a first-class version of yourself is about being the best you, not a better someone else. So moving on to step number 4, practice self-compassion. To me, one of the most overlooked things that we can do for ourselves. You see, we often find ourselves being our own harshest critic. We've all been there, standing in front of the mirror, replaying every mistake, every moment that we didn't measure up to our own impossible standards. And it's like there's this inner critic living rent-free in our heads, always ready to tear us down. But let me tell you something crucial. To be the best version of ourselves, we need to change that narrative. We need to start treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we'd offer to a dear friend, a loved one. Developing self-compassion isn't just a feel-good notion. It's a true game changer. When you're kind to yourself, you're not just boosting your emotional well-being, you're building resilience. Think about it. Life can be tough enough as it is. You don't need to be adding to that in being your own worst enemy. So the next time you catch yourself being overly critical, pause and replace those harsh words with affirmations of understanding and support. Recognize that you're human and that humans make mistakes. It's all part of the process. Embrace your imperfections because they're what make you unique and resilient. Start showing yourself the love and compassion that you deserve. It won't just transform your emotional health, it will unlock a strength and resilience that you didn't know you had. You owe it to yourself to be your own biggest cheerleader and not your harshest critic. It's time to change the dialogue and become the best, most resilient version of you. And here's how you can cultivate self-compassion. The first piece is to acknowledge your imperfections. Accept that making mistakes is a natural part of our journey of life and it's essential for growth. It's okay to be imperfect and to learn from your own experiences. And so recognize that everyone has flaws and that these do not diminish your worth or potential. Embrace your mistakes and identify the valuable lessons that you've learned and that continue to contribute to your own personal development. Speak kindly to yourself. So we want to shift that inner dialogue from the negative criticism and into those positive affirmations and supportive words. So instead of thinking that, oh, I can't do this, we want to try saying, I'm learning and improving each day. So practice replacing self-doubt and harsh words and judgment with encouraging and compassionate thoughts. Remember, be as kind to yourself as you would be to a dear friend or a loved one. And then also, as we know, the importance of well-being. Take care of your own well-being. So engage in activities that nurture your mind, your body and soul. This can include regular exercises, pursuing hobbies, or spending quality time with family, friends and loved ones. The key here is to prioritize self-care practices that help you recharge and maintain a balanced lifestyle. Whether it's taking a walk in nature, enjoying a good book, or meditating, Find what brings you peace and make it a regular part of your routine. You see, practicing self-compassion not only helps you recover from setbacks more quickly, but also enables you to continue moving forward with confidence and grace. It creates almost a healthier relationship with yourself, but it builds greater resilience and a more positive outlook. So be kind and gentle with yourself as you go, as you pave the way for personal growth and a deeper sense of fulfillment. So there you have it, 4 powerful steps to being a first-rate version of yourself instead of a second-rate version of somebody else. Number 1, identify your core values. Number 2, set authentic goals. Number 3, embrace your unique strengths. And number 4, practice self-compassion. Remember, the world doesn't need another copycat. It needs you in all of your authentic glory. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone that perhaps you know may need to hear this message. So until next time, keep moving forward, stay true to yourself, and know that you've got this. Here's to your dreams, and here's to you. Hey, if you stayed until the end, here's a little extra tip for you. Surround yourself with people who uplift you and support you with your journey. You see, the right community and the right people around us can make all the difference. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.